Grab a spoon, grab a snack, and let's have a Cheerio chat. I'm Grandpa Pete, and for the next few minutes, let's you and I talk about what matters most. If you've watched the Kentucky Derby, you know that the winner's circle has a way of making success look instantaneous. A horse flashes across the wire, cameras click, roses are draped over tired shoulders, and that afternoon, the nation has discovered its newest overnight sensation. Long before the 2026 Kentucky Derby, there was a little girl born in Saratoga Springs, New York, a town where horse racing isn't simply a sport. It's part of the landscape. Horses surrounded Sherry DeVoe from childhood, and somewhere along the way, she fell in love with thoroughbreds. She could have hurried. Many do. Instead, she spent years learning. She worked under Hall of Fame trainer Chad Brown as one of his assistant trainers. There, she learned how elite stables are managed, how champions are made, and importantly, how patience wins more races than haste. Then came 2017. She was at a crossroads. Should she remain the dependable assistant or risk everything by opening a stable of her own? Starting out on her own meant convincing owners to trust their valuable horses to someone with no independent record, no guarantees, no certainty, only faith. So in 2018, she earned her trainer's license. Her first victory didn't come immediately. It came on her 29th start. Not exactly the stuff of Hollywood, but stable by stable, horse by horse, owner by owner, her reputation grew. No spectacular headlines, just careful horsemanship. She developed young horses patiently rather than rushing them. By the time a horse named Golden Tempo arrived at her stable, Sherry DeVoe had already trained multiple stakes winners and captured the Breeders' Cup Mile in 2024. Enter the Kentucky Derby. Golden Tempo was a deep closer, a horse whose natural style was to settle near the back before unleashing one furious run. Instead of forcing him to become something he wasn't, DeVoe and jockey Jose Ortiz trusted what the horse already knew how to do. The colt dropped to last. Thousands wondered if he had fallen too far behind. Then, in the stretch, he came flying. Golden Tempo surged past the field to win the 2026 Kentucky Derby by a neck, making Sherry DeVoe the first woman ever to train a Derby winner. Standing in the winner's circle, she could have talked about ceilings broken, history made, or obstacles overcome. Instead, she simply said, "I'm glad I can be a representative of women everywhere, that we can do anything we set our minds to." Simple words, no boasting, just gratitude. Then came another decision. The Preakness Stakes, the second and longest race in the three races known as the Triple Crown. Most people would chase the Triple Crown. DeVoe chose something else. She skipped the Preakness, saying Golden Tempo's long-term health came first, even though that ended any chance at racing's greatest prize. Some questioned the decision. A month later, Golden Tempo answered them all. He won the Belmont Stakes, and Sherry DeVoe became the first woman ever to train winners of two Triple Crown races, proving the Derby had not been a fluke. But perhaps that isn't the most remarkable part. You see, many people believe greatness comes from making horses do what the human wants rather than what the horse wants. Sherry DeVoe built her career doing almost the opposite. She learned before she led. She waited before she leaped. She listened before she demanded. And when the biggest horse of her life wanted to run from the back of the pack, she let him be exactly what he was created to be. Funny, isn't it? Sometimes the quickest path to success is refusing to rush. Sometimes leadership isn't about changing talent. It's about recognizing it. And the first woman trainer to win the Kentucky Derby didn't make history by forcing greatness. She prepared before she performed. She put the horse ahead of the trophy. She valued patience over publicity. In a world that celebrates overnight success, Sherry DeVoe reminds us that the victories everyone sees are usually built on years that no one has noticed. And in the end, that's what matters most. Before we finish up, it's time for the toppings. Every bowl of Cheerios is a little better with something added to it. And every conversation is a little richer when more people join in. I would like you to share your thoughts about the story you just heard by sending me an email at cheeriochatpodcast@gmail.com. Well, your bowl is probably empty by now. Thank you for joining me for Cheerio Chat. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep thinking about what matters most. Cheerio Chat was hosted by Peter Giles and produced by Tater Giles. It is sponsored by digipix.com, who can help you preserve your videos, your photos, your stories, and whatever matters most to you.